let's add custom recipes to our NeoForge mod in 26.1. If you want to go deeper, the 26.x modding courses are linked down below. 30 plus hours covering complex block entities with fluid and energy handling, custom mobs, custom networking, and even custom biomes and dimensions. Everything you need for 26.x all in one place, linked down below in the description. Alright, we found some back and chill more, and in this tutorial we'll be adding custom recipes to our Minecraft mod, so similar to the loot tables. This, of course, is all done via data gen. Yes, indeed. So for this, we're of course going to make a new class over here called the Mod Recipe Provider. That's going to be this one right here. There we go. And let's see. This will extend from the recipe provider over here. We're going to hover over this to implement the build recipes method. Hover over this again, create constructor matching super, and then we're going to make this public over here. We'll also have a static class within it over here because we just need this. There's a public static class runner, and it's going to extend from the recipe provider.runner over here. And then inside, let's just hover over this to implement the two methods we need. Hover over again, create constructor matching super, which we also want to make public right here. And then it is very straightforward. In the recipe provider, we just say new mod recipe provider, passing in the registries as well as the output over here. And for the name, we can just do tutorial mod and then recipes. There we go. And all of the action appears over here or happens in the build recipes method. Now, what are the cool things that we can do? Well, there are quite a few. Now, sadly, there are some drawbacks over here, and I still think I need to just do a freaking pull request over here for this. But there are some methods that we could theoretically use. For example, the 9-block storage recipes, which you might say, well, that's really freaking cool that we can just, basically use this. And this is going to automatically make it so that if I give this the Azurite block and the Azurite, so that it makes it so that you have the, you put in a 9 Azurite, you get an Azurite block out of it. You put the Azurite block in, you get 9 out as well. So that is what this method would do. Now, one issue here is, though, however, that sadly, it's going to use it, or the way that it's going to make this is, well, looking at the packing recipe ID here, maybe it doesn't actually save, it doesn't necessarily have to save this under Minecraft. So we might actually be good. Let's test this out, because I might just discovered something that has just saved us from certain doom. So this is going to be the recipe category here as its first parameter. That is the, that would be, I believe, building blocks over here, but we can also double check what this is used. No, the first one is miscellaneous. Okay, so the first one is miscellaneous. And then we use the item. So this would be the item that we're getting, which would be Azurite in this case. Yes, let's double check the name over here. Unpacked form, exactly. And then we get the recipe category of building blocks. And that is then modblocks.azurite block. Now, theoretically, if we were to keep it like this, then it would generate under the Minecraft namespace for the recipes, which we don't want. However, if I understand it correctly, if we use the other method that is literally the same thing right here with the packing recipe, I feel like we should be able to actually do something like that. So let's just let's copy those ones over right here, because we should be able to access those. So we do this, and then this is the packed form, which is this one and then this one. So those are going to be okay. So the names here are fine, but then this is the recipe group. And in theory, if I've understood the way that this works, it uses these ones here to parse an identifier. So in theory, I mean, couldn't we just get the recipe name here again as well? Get simple recipe name. That is going to get this as a path, which should include, which does not include the namespace. No, okay, so it doesn't include the namespace. I mean, we can just do tutorial mod dot, plus, plus, and then you just give it the, so we would do it like this. Seems a little bit more complicated than it has to be, but I mean, in theory, it should do it. Let's, for the sake of argument, test this out over here. I mean, we can also do it in line, because I mean, this is pretty freaking crazy, but generally speaking, that's okay. Let's go to the mod recipe, to the data gen over here and add our mod recipe provider. So generator.addProvider with a true over here. And this is the new mod recipe provider.runner, passing in the pack output as well as the lookup provider. And there we go. And then let's just run this and see if the custom one right here is actually created under our own namespace or not. It is indeed not created under our own namespace. Well, there we go. So much for that. It sadly also still gets created in the Minecraft one. Theoretically, it shouldn't be an issue, but I still don't like the fact that that's the case, which is one of the reasons why this is somewhat of an issue, that these things are, well, they're just not used basically. And I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that, so we're just gonna get rid of this. And you might ask, well, how are we supposed to do it then? How will we make the azurite into a block and the block into azurite? Well, we just use the shaped recipe over here. So calling the shaped recipe method, we call the category. Then whatever we get out of this, so there's going to be a modblocks.azuriteblock.get, and then here we define the patterns. So we have 3 patterns, and now once you've seen this, you should be like, this looks very interesting. So I filled this with A's. Now, when you think about it a little bit, this should trigger something in you, and that should be a 3x3 pattern. There has to be something here. Of course, this represents the 3x3 pattern of the crafting table in this case. So the idea here being, if I fill it with A's, which we're going to define in a second, then I'm going to get an azurite block out. You can, by the way, do this, and that is then going to work in the top 2 rows or the bottom rows. And you can even do something like this right here, which then, if you fill this up in only the small crafting table in the inventory, that would also work. So you can do all sorts of things over here. Smaller than 3, totally fine. Anything bigger than 3, so more than 3 patterns, and the strings being longer than 3 characters, neither of those work. So what we're going to have here is we can then define this with a character. Of course, this is a character A. Now, please note for the people in the back that are like, I don't need Java knowledge, and you're like, why does this not work for me? Because I want you to pay close attention. These are strings. These work with 2 quotation marks, while this is a character working with 1 quotation mark. If you don't know the difference, this is a really big appeal one more time for you to learn a little bit more Java, because though that difference you should 100% know, and if you don't, that is not, I mean, basically it's not good. That's the whole idea. Here we define the character A as being moditems.azurite.get over here. Easy enough. We can then also unlock this by, and what we're going to do is we're going to do has name, I think. Yeah, get has name, passing in the azurite over here again. And then the second parameter is just has method, passing in the azurite here as well. We can also add this to the group azurite. And finally, we call the save method, passing in the output right here. And that is it. That is going to now save our shaped recipe as basically what we want. And this is obviously an example of a shaped recipe, but what about a shapeless recipe? Not to worry, we just call the shapeless method. Here, we're going to have the building blocks. Wait, shouldn't this be the other way around? This is the building blocks and this is the miscellaneous. Yeah, there we go. So this is going to be moditems.azurite.get, and here we're going to get 9 items out of it. This time, we just call the requires method, because you just put in, a certain number of items inside of the crafting table or the crafting grid with a shapeless recipe, and it doesn't matter where you put them, and it just requires, here in this case, modblocks.azuriteblock, and then we can basically do a similar thing where we just copy over the last 3 lines here and just change this to the block in this case. Well, it would also be the mod blocks, of course. Azurite is fine, output is fine. Now, do note that if we were to run this, let's just for the sake of run this, we're going to now have these 2 methods right here, or these 2 JSON files generated right here. Boom, right? So this is much better, in my opinion. Now, they are called azurite and azurite block. The reason is the recipes always default to the name of the result as the name of the JSON file. That's totally fine. But the issue here is that if I now have a second shapeless recipe for the sake of argument, that gets me, I don't know, 18 azurite for some reason. If I put in an azurite block and, I don't know, like items dot blaze powder or something like that, whatever it might be, right? I just have a second one that gets the same result. What happens now? Well, I just run this, and you're going to run into the error of, yo, my friend, duplicate recipe. Of course, because it's trying to save this as the same name. That obviously does not work. So what we need to do is, inside of the save method, you can give it an ID via a string. Now here, for example, I could say azurite from blaze powder, just for the sake of argument over here, that we have a custom name. Now, if I run this now, it's going to be a very fun moment over here, because now this one is, of course, going to generate. However, it generates under Minecraft again. Listen, don't at me. I don't know why. You just add tutorial mod : and all of a sudden we rerun this, and then it's going to work, and it's going to generate under our namespace again. You can see, boom, there we have it. So there we go. So that's what we want to do right here in terms of if you have a recipe that has, well, or if you have multiple recipes for the same thing, and you usually want to add an ID over here in the save method. Then we get to something super cool, and that is the smelting of something. And when I say super cool, I do mean we still need a helper method for it, which we're going to copy over. Highly recommended to already go to the description below. In the GitHub repository, there is going to be the ore cooking method, which we're going to basically just copy over right now. So this is going to go, of course, inside of the recipe provider class right here. So just below this, and you notice that this is overwritten. The reason why I override it is because this is used in the methods of ore smelting and ore blasting, which is going to be the two methods that we're going to call in a second. And via polymorphism, it's going to basically use this overwritten method. So it's going to use the newest one, which we've defined, where I basically just added this line right here. These two things, tutorial mod : because that's going to then make it in the save method. You can see, so I do need to add this in the save method so that it adds all of these custom JSON files in our own namespace instead of the Minecraft namespace. But when we do that, then this gets really cool, because now we can define a list of item like right here, which is going to be the azurite underscore smeltables equal to a list.of, not a list.for, but a list.of. And then let's go through, right? What can we smelt? Well, obviously the azurite, or the raw azurite, but also modblocks.azurite ore, and modblocks.the deep state ore, and also modblocks.the nether ore, and also the end ore. So those are the 5 different, well, item likes that we can, in theory, over here smelt. And this is going to be so cool. So with 2 lines of code, or 3 lines of code if you count the list over here, we can generate 10 JSON files. So we call the ore smelting, passing in the azurite smeltables over here. Now the azurite smeltables, there we go. Then the recipe category of miscellaneous. We do the miscellaneous for the cooking book category as well. Then the result, which is moditems.azurite.get. The experience is going to be 0.25. Cooking time is 200. And the group is azurite. Now, this is going to generate 5 smelting recipes for each of these different, item likes. Raw azurite, ore, the deep state, the nether, and the end ore. Boom, we duplicate this. We call the ore blasting. Bada bing, bada boom, we change the cooking time to 100, because the cooking time in a blasting furnace is usually only 100 instead of 200, and that's it. Those 3 lines over here are generating 10 JSON files, which is really freaking cool, because that just makes it so much easier. And I mean, just imagine, you have like 10 different ores, and just having, like 30 lines over here, super freaking simple. It just makes it so much easier. Here, I, of course, also recommend you go into the recipe provider, and you can take a look at some of the recipes over here. This is how you make a shelf right here. So you can see there are different things that you can already take a look at. Sadly, you can't use all of them, because sometimes, well, it's just not, it doesn't 100% work, because it usually, I believe, saves it into, for some reason, into the Minecraft namespace. Still not 100% sure why, where the sort of issue there is, but regardless of that, this is still really freaking cool. Let's run DataGen again for our 10 freaking JSON files over here, and you can see, boom, that's all of them right there. So cool. The advancements, by the way, those are added for unlocking the recipes, so they are under advancements. So there's recipe advancements, which is the way to unlock recipes. I've never really put too much attention onto that, because theoretically, any sort of modded experience, in my opinion, almost always has JEI installed. So the recipe book is, I would say, I don't know, like 99 out of 100 times it's ignored. But, regardless, if you want to do that, you can still add the unlock by, which is going to get you some of the advancements for the recipes in this case. Regardless, though, that is going to be the recipes that I wanted to show you. We'll see a couple more throughout the tutorials over here. But generally speaking, with Shaped and Shapeless, you can basically already create any type of recipe in that instance. And of course, you know, if you want to do smelting and things like that, you can see that those use the simple cooking recipe builder generic. So you can also do those if you have any other ideas. Also, always just, you know, test out. There's like a couple of builders over here. There are also just in general a couple of different, you know, planks from logs, things like that. So I highly recommend you check out the recipe provider. There's so many different methods to take a look at, but for the time being, let's jump into the game and see if it works. All right, finally back in Minecraft, and let's just see over here. Raw azurite, absolutely no issues whatsoever. Boom, we got some azurite ore. Let's do some blasting of this as well. Absolutely no issue whatsoever. I mean, that all works totally fine. You can see I can get some azurite out, and then putting in the block of azurite, you can see I can get 9 out, and vice versa. That is absolutely fantastic. And even if I were to, you know, get myself some blaze powder over here, we've defined this. Boom, boom. You can see I can get 18 out. Obviously, that is a recipe for disaster, pun intended. But yeah, that is custom recipes over here. And you can see all of them work exactly like you would expect them to. That is so freaking cool. And yeah, that is custom recipes over here added to Minecraft. Awesome. As mentioned before, all of the code is available to you down below, but that's going to be it for this tutorial right here. I hope you found this useful and you learned something new, and next time we'll talk about a custom advanced item. Hope to see you there. So, yeah.